Hello there. Do you like to laugh? Are you fond of the occasional musical number? Do you secretly enjoy fart jokes and sexual innuendos? How about extremely vulgar language? If you answered yes to at least one of these, then boy howdy do we have a treat for you. The weird and deranged minds that bring you Strange Fantasy Show have dipped their toes into the proverbial soup of comedy to bring you a new program under the Strange Fantasy Productions umbrella, The Dastardly Dangerous Adventures of Darby's the Cat. Follow the infamous pirate cat Darby's and his mousy best friend Little Gary on high-flying adventures as they... Hey, what are you doing? This is a closed recording set? No, hey, get off me! What are you doing? Ow!
Else you'll get some more of me knuckle sapper!
Kick him once more in his teeth, then tie him up over yonder.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, hush it. Let me tell the good people about the show. 'Tis only proper. Now I be Darby's, the infamous pirate cat. And this is me best mate, Little Gary.
Hello!
And we've got our own show now. So join us on the adventure of a lifetime and listen in and download anywhere you get your podcasts. Savvy?
If you do not mind, we really need to get to the show already.
Yeah, we're good, mate.
Fantastic. Ghost host, take it away.
Thank you. Cue the intro. Welcome to another regaling of strange fantasy. Obscure odysseys meant to shock the nervous system and stir the very core of your soul. Tonight's tale is of cruelty and the beasts that are made of its design. Benevolence and malevolence are the choices that shape the lives we encounter, and the verdict of which enables the future of the spirits to go forth and spread what has been taught. Such is the lesson in this two-part installment entitled The Beasts of Baverly Grove, the Castle.
Yes, almost got you off. If I just... Son of a... Fine. Don't work. Why I waste my breath on a recalcitrant piece of junk like you is beyond me. I have better things to be wasting my talents on. Go away. Can't you leave me in peace? You disturb my work, my concentration. Sibrin, dear God, what has happened to you? Who has done this? Wait here, I'll get some bandages. No. You cannot bring people here, Sibrin. You know this. These people have no place amongst us. Get him out of here right now. Did he hurt you? You brought him here to be punished, is that it? You did what? Sibrin. I cannot. You ask too much. Don't ask me to do this. Very well. Roll him over. I will need my tools. Wait here.
What is that thing? Oh, no! Get back!
This had better... What is this mess? Look at what you've done to my workshop. I don't care. This is your fault. And you, lay back down before I change my mind.
Where is my fiancé?
You see, nothing ever changes. Now lay down before you bleed to death. Anything else you wish to tell me?
Keep back!
Look, my patience is wearing thin. Either lay down on the table or leave. Those are your options.
I can go?
Yes. And at this point, that would be preferable, seeing as you are bleeding all over my floor.
But that thing!
That thing, as you put it, kept you from being torn apart by the autochthonous wolves, whose territory I presume you violated, and is now requesting against my better judgment that I save your life. You have got multiple lacerations, head trauma, and from here what appears to be a claw protruding from your abdomen, which I can only hope has missed your stomach. So, if you would like my help, which I can assure you this will be the last and only time it will be offered, then get on the table! This is why we can't have nice things.
Who are you? Please. I don't understand what's going on here. I just want to know if my wife is all right.
I've been told not to speak to you.
All right, okay. Makes communication a little difficult, but I like a challenge. I could ask you questions, and you could write down your answers. No speaking on your end there. I don't suppose you could at least tell me where I am?
No Spoke Castle. They have fresh clothes for you. I'll be back to collect your old ones shortly.
You are not from the village.
Excuse me?
Your clothes, your bag. These things are not from Baverly Grove.
No, I'm not from any village. My plane went down. My fiancé and I had to bail out. My name is Peter. Peter Rook.
There are others?
No, just my fiancé and I.
If I am to believe my colleague, you were attacked by wolves, yes?
That's right. We've been lost in the woods for 2 days. We just found a path when we heard the wolves, and I tried to lead them away into the woods so Sarah could get away.
Raven's blush.
What?
It's an herb that grows in abundance near here. When your wife ran, did she stick to the path?
I don't know. I would guess so.
Paths between the castle and the village are lined with raven's blush. It repels the wolves like garlic to a vampire. Mythologically speaking, of course. If she stayed to the path, the chances are she will be fine. But to be safe, I will have some of my friends search the area surrounding the castle, just in case. Lila has brought you a change of clothes. I will provide you with a room shortly. My friends are preparing one now, but I'm afraid we have not had guests in so long that there is nowhere readily suitable.
I appreciate the hospitality. Can't say I recognize...
Careful, my boy. Your wounds are deep. The remedy I administered works fast, but will leave you weak and disoriented for a few days. You may expect some bouts of euphoria, lethargy, mental fatigue. Nothing permanent, I assure you. Here.
Strong stuff. These your version of smelling salts?
If you experience any abnormal states, just inhale this. It should counteract the effects.
So, not to seem ungrateful, but what am I doing here?
What do you remember?
It's all a bit of a blur. I remember hearing the wolves and then seeing two of them stalking us alongside the path. I told Sarah to wait a few seconds and then to run as fast as she could. I picked up a large branch and then took off toward them. I got in a lucky swing, but then I went down and everything went black and woke up here.
You tried to fight off those hounds with a branch? Well, you have guts. I will give you that. You were very fortunate. My friend was out checking the traps. He rescued you from the wolves and brought you here. Had he not been there, well.
Please excuse me if I'm out of line here, but is your friend all right? It's just, I don't really remember him that well, and what I do remember is kind of hazy. So I remember him being...
Yes?
I don't really know how to say it.
Do you wish to know if he is different to you and I? Grotesque, maybe? Or perhaps the word you are so carefully avoiding is monstrous?
Well, not to be so callous.
How much do you know about Nosebo Castle?
Nothing. I've never heard of it.
Your injuries need time to heal. A day or two at the most. Then you should be fit enough to travel.
Do you think I could use your phone? I could get an emergency crew to help your friend search.
Sorry, no phones.
Well, a radio? Shortwave? Anything I could use to get help?
No.
Not to sound ungrateful, but why the hell not?
Sibrin, that is the gentleman who found you, is a survivor of a deadly plague, one which thankfully the likes of which the world will never know.
I don't understand.
Several generations ago, there were a group of doctors who were experimenting with bacteria, viruses. You know of these things?
Of course.
They theorized that they could stop the aging process by genetically modifying and splicing certain germs so that instead of them causing the body and organs to decay, they would instead regenerate them, a fountain of youth, but from within. However...
I presume that's not a good however.
However, they failed. Instead, they succeeded in creating a virulent plague, one which caused mutations, aberrations. The survivors were quarantined here.
That's the best they could do for them? Quarantine? Does that mean that does that mean I'm infected too?
Fortunately, no. The transmittable qualities of the plague have long since been made dormant. Now it can only be spread through genetic inheritance. Thankfully, my life's work has not been entirely fruitless.
But that man, he looked like he was part wolf. How can that be caused by a plague?
The condition initially caused a variety of effects, abnormal skeletal growths, masses on the heart and lungs, etc. In order to arrest the development of the disease, we, or rather they, tried everything, including radical gene splicing from animals with identifiable immune factors. Unfortunately, the cells hybridized, creating traits like those you witnessed. The immunity gene Sibrin inherited from his parents came from the very genus of wolf he rescued you from.
How can he... Is he in pain? Isn't there anything?
There is nothing more that can be done for him. He cannot speak due to a malformation of the larynx, but apart from that, his inconveniences are minimal.
I wonder if he sees it that way.
We are cut off from the rest of the world, locked away with our own mess. Both the castle and nearby village were quarantined, locked away with their secrets. My patients live their lives out in seclusion. Those lucky enough to escape contamination remained in the village. turned their backs on science altogether and chose to live a life free from the evils of progress, voluntary devolution, insanity, frightened children running for their mother's skirt.
You said they were your patients. So are you from the village? You don't really fit in around here.
When the outbreak happened, there were a few scientists who were immune, scientists who had helped create the disease, scientists like my great-grandmother, who dedicated their lives to correct their mistake.
So it's like a family responsibility?
In some ways.
So if you cured the disease, why are you still here?
I never said I cured it. The disease is still present in all those here. About 20 or so patients. The effects have to be constantly controlled and treated.
How many of you?
Just me.
That can't be easy. Why not get help from the village, if it's as near as you say?
No, this is my work. I will not have it threatened. You are the first visitor Nosabo Castle has had in a century. I sincerely hope that you will also be the last. Good day to you.
I hate to ask, but do you know how we can get back to the Colvert? We were about 50 miles out when the plane went down. Been hard to tell if we're even going in the right direction.
About 3 days' journey southwest of here. There is no trail, but I will repair your compass. You should be fine.
Thank you.
Richard. Dr. Richard Mason. I will also make sure you have enough raven's blush to keep the wolves at bay, as well as food.
If it's all right with you, I'd like to help search for my fiancée.
My friends know these woods. It will be safer for you here. I will ask Lila to return for your old clothes shortly.
I appreciate the help, but I can't just wait around. I can go check the village and see.
What part of quarantine don't you understand?
But you said I'm not infected.
You are not infected, but they don't know that.
Well, come with me. Tell them.
You will wait here. I will send food. Eat it. I do not wish to create offense, Mr. Rook, but my hospitality is not without its limits. Please remain here while I arrange temporary quarters for you.
What have you gotten yourself into, Peter? You have to watch me eat?
I'm waiting to take your plate. He doesn't like a mess in his workshop.
I'm sure there has to be something around here more interesting than the fact that I can chew with my mouth open. Don't you know it's not polite to stare? All right, here you go. Go on, take it. You don't have to be afraid of me, you know. I'm not going to hurt you. So I suppose a 25-foot bubble is normal around here?
I haven't seen any bubbles.
Never mind. That was good. You make it yourself?
Like, and he cooks all the food we eat.
What was it?
An artificially grown protein substance harvested from embryonic porcine material.
I'm just gonna tell myself you said bacon, alright?
Alright. What's bacon?
Now that just hurts my soul. That's a joke.
I like jokes.
You like jokes. Finally. A common ground. A triumph for democracy. How about this? I'll tell you my favorite joke. You tell me yours. Okay. A policeman stops a woman and asks for her license. He says, "Lady, it says here you should be wearing glasses." The woman says, "I have contacts." The cop replies, "I don't care who you know. You're getting a ticket." Tough room.
I have one. What do you call a pig with 5 eyes? A pig.
Well, look at that. We're laughing. Uh-oh. I think that means we might just have to be friends.
I think I'd like that.
You remind me a lot of my little sister. She passed away from a motorcycle accident a few years ago.
They say I shouldn't trust others.
Why?
They say they want to hurt us, that the people in the village are monsters who kill us on sight.
I'm not from the village.
No, you're not. You don't really belong here.
I'm not so sure you do either.
Have you come to take us away from here?
You don't like it here?
No, sometimes it's not so bad. I just wish I was allowed to leave the castle.
Are you a prisoner here?
We're all prisoners. The others can at least go outside to the forest. I've never even been past that door. The experiments are the worst part. Sometimes they hurt. He uses me more than the others. What's it like where you come from?
Safe.
And I'm telling you, Fido, we are not turning our backs on that poor man just because you have a problem with his face.
I don't have a problem with his face. My problem is that he has a problem with mine. With all of ours. Cyprian told me how he reacted when he saw him. He tried to kill him.
That is a gross exaggeration. My notepad is hardly a deadly weapon. He was afraid, yes. But apart from hurling whatever was at hand in Cyprian's direction, he did no such thing.
You forget. I was there. I remember how they treated us. In all that time, I've never forgotten the looks on their faces. The horror. The stares. You do not know what it was like to have someone look at you like you're less than human.
Oh, don't I?
Do you think I'm a fool? He has been here a day, and Lila is the only person he has been allowed to see.
I realize how it may seem.
Is it coincidence that you send Lila in to bring him his food? To show him his room? You hide the rest of us away.
So I asked you to give up your room for a day and a night. This is no excuse for behaving like a petulant child.
That has nothing to do with it. Outsiders are dangerous, and you know it. You know how he will react to seeing us. Which is why you have only exposed him to Lila.
If I thought he was dangerous, I wouldn't put he and Lila in the same room. What could I possibly have to gain from hiding you from him?
You want his cooperation? I know you, Dr. Mason. Probably better than anyone else here. Surely it occurred to you that you could use him? Maybe his blood?
So I am being cautious. You should appreciate that I'm not being haphazard in my dealing with this matter.
If you had just turned him out, we wouldn't
Cyprian brought him here. I treated the man at his request. You try saying no to Cyprian. You would have better luck convincing a stone to float. So I am making the best of the situation. You want me to do what? Break his neck, maybe?
Of course not. But why does he have to stay?
He's not well enough to travel. And what if his intended shows up here? We do this whole song and dance again.
If he tells anyone we are here...
I will explain to him the situation. He owes me his life. I doubt he will repay that debt with betrayal.
Tell me you are not planning on using him to...
I'm not planning anything.
I know how difficult this is, but it has been agreed.
Agreed! You don't have to remind me what was agreed. I know full well. Don't think you know everything. You know nothing. That man who you would have let die a useless death has a brain and a heart, both of which we could use. But no, you and the others just want more senseless death. And why? Because you're afraid.
Because I am smart. I'm smart enough to be afraid. I'm not just thinking of Lila. I'm thinking of all of us.
I know! I have heard the arguments. You have my word.
He needs to go. Make sure he doesn't talk. I will have Lila send him to you. Finish with him quickly.
You would think that it would get easier. Being Death's instrument would somehow...
Stop your struggling. Why he wants you back is beyond me.
Is this her, Lycan?
She was snooping on the outskirts of the castle grounds, calling for her fella. I tried to bring her in calmly, but she won't stop scurrying me for more than a breath.
Just calm down, my dear. You are looking for Peter? You have no need to worry. I've taken care of him. He is no longer in pain.
She bit me.
Oh, Lycan, you're bleeding.
Stay back!
I know, but it's not her blood, it's Lycan's.
They told me there were monsters here, but I never believed.
Your information is somewhat skewed, my dear. Now give me that before you do someone a mischief.
You ain't sticking that in me. You keep your witchery to yourself.
I've no interest in sticking anything, my dear Sarah, but if
Just
let me-
grab the tart. Woofing your guns at her, I ain't gonna solve
You're
it.
not helping, Lycan.
Or maybe if me hand weren't missing a chunk, I'd be more likely
You got Peter, you said.
to our shame.
Well, I'll be taking whatever's left of him back with me. His fanci'll want proof he tain't living.
You'll take that back of my hand.
Lycan! Do I take your meaning to be that you are not Sarah? Betrothed of Peter Rook?
You are correct.
You brought the wrong girl, you imbecile!
And what exactly was I supposed to do? Stop and get her particulars?
Do you know what you've done?
You said find the girl. I know it's been a while, but that be a girl. If it ain't her, then why is she here?
I don't know what you're playing at, but you let me go, you hear?
Young lady. Unreasonable wretch!
You ain't taking me anywhere!
Are you alright?
I am. You better get out of sight, too.
Don't want your pure breed to mix with the mongrels, I suppose.
Lycan, there is more going on.
It's alright, Dr. Mason. I won't embarrass you to your shiny new friend.
Lycan, wait! Come, sit down. Come on, before I change my mind. Don't take care of that wound right away, it'll get infected. That's all we need. One-handed cook. You'll never get a properly chopped vegetable again.
I'm sorry about the girl.
You weren't to have known. I should have been able to recognize at once her clothes, her manner, but I'd... Perhaps the years are catching up with me.
Yeah, he's still the smartest man here. I know I grumble a bit, more than a bit, if truth be told. But I'm thankful for what I have. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have me boy. Albi'll be 9 tomorrow, if you'll believe it. We didn't think we'd be able to have a child at all. I remember always having a pull to guess what he'd be like when he came out. Supposing he'd have 3 heads or something. You put a stop to it, though. Yanni told me you'd put all your rations down on Healthy. Said it didn't matter none what he looked like, as long as he was healthy. Weren't nobody gonna bet against that. And bless if he ain't hardly had a cough in 9 years. I know you helped keep him healthy. That's when I decided that you was a good man, no matter what else comes.
Keep your hand wrapped. Let Keelim handle the food for the next couple of days, just to guard against contamination. Help Sibrin keep an eye on things, please.
I was just beginning to wonder if it was just the 4 of us. I hadn't seen anyone else.
I didn't want you to feel like my friends were lesser people just because of their appearance. Take Lila, for instance. Her mutation is minor, but it is a significant revelation.
I'm sorry I reacted so poorly when I was first brought here. You have to understand it was a bit of a shock.
He really is quite a nice man. We've been talking about motion pictures.
Have you now?
They're like pictures, but they look real and sound like they're talking and telling stories.
Quite an innovation.
Well, Lila's been kind enough to tell me some of the stories she used to like to be told, and I figured it was only fair.
Could you make a motion picture machine? I'm sure Peter could tell you how. He's quite clever.
We have more important matters to discuss at the moment. Lila, my dear, would you please go and tell Sibrin that we need to hold a meeting in half an hour?
Certainly. When I get back, may I take Peter on a walk of the galleries?
If he's up to it. Remember, he has had a rather nasty time of late.
She is quite a charming young lady.
You are fond of her?
Only company I've had. She thinks very highly of you. You know, she was telling me all about these tomatoes she helped you grow inside.
She is dying.
What?
The disease I told you about, it's killing her.
Now, wait a minute. You told me you have this thing under control.
I do, in most cases. But in Lila's case, She only has half the genetic immunity factors necessary. I've tried multiple experimental procedures to stabilize her, but her cells are too badly damaged. There are foreign microbes in her blood, which are continually eating away at her organs. Masses that are left in their place are toxic. With what I have here, nothing can be done.
You mean to tell me that you've been fighting this thing for years, but you intend to give up on that young girl?
No, but her cure is beyond my reach.
Well, you better just reach a little farther then, because you can't just let that girl die.
I don't intend to. Listen, I don't have much time to explain. I can save her, but I will need your help. But before I say anything else, I must inform you that I believe we have received positive proof that your fiancé is alive and in the village of Baverly Grove.
Sarah? Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. You say she's all right?
I believe so. The people there, they are afraid of outsiders. The reason we have no contact with them for all these years is because that is how they wish it. And they isolated us. Let us just say it was under hostile circumstances. We have been forbidden to sojourn to their territory. Your intended is probably fine for now, but when it comes to those who are incongruent with their view of the world, it would probably be best to afford them as little opportunity for vehemence as possible.
I understand.
Do you still wish to help? If you desire to just go to her, nobody will stop you.
If I don't help, Lila dies?
Yes.
Then tell me what you need me to do.
I knew you had a good heart. I told Philo, a good heart and a good mind. I could sense it. Though we cannot go there. From a high ground, we do scout the goings-on of the village from time to time. In Baverly Grove, there is a man, Christian, the only untainted blood relative of Lila. A sample of his blood should have the antigens needed to arrest the harmful cells in Lila's blood and destroy the masses that are killing her. With it, I could finish the treatment within an hour.
How exactly am I supposed to get a sample of this guy's blood? I think you would notice. You have to drive the tower. A flying bolt smashing to the earth and floating down over the river. Little red men with teeth, Dr. Mason.
This was a bad idea. You're in no shape for such an error.
Hey, those masses kill that sweet little thing if I don't bring you some of his blood.
Correct.
Then I'm in. I'll think of something.
Be sure. Be very sure. These people are not open-minded when it comes to things they can't comprehend. They react with fear.
I'm gonna have to go anyway to pick up Sarah, right? I'll get a sample of his blood and bring it back here once I've collected her.
Very well. Your compass is already repaired. I will see your bag filled with provisions and raven's blush. Take this. A few drops is all that is needed.
I'd be lying if I said I've been asked to do stranger things.
Hurry, you must go. The others will try and stop you if they find out. It would serve you to speak as little of this place as possible.
Why would they want to stop me?
Please, there is no time.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
I don't know what game you think you're playing bringing that girl here, but you've gone too far.
I resent the implication.
Then why is she here?
Lycan made a mistake. The young girl was on the castle grounds, and Lycan thought her our guest's bride-to-be.
This is bad, Dr. Mason. You know what this means. I knew these strangers were trouble. This changes everything.
Nothing has changed. The girl was looking for Peter. I will speak to her.
If she was on our grounds, then it is too late. They don't dare trespass. This is proof we are in danger.
One stray girl does not mean that everything we have worked for over the years will suddenly come crashing down around our ears.
It's happening. It's all happening all over again. First the panic and then the rage. I've already been chased from my home once. I don't intend to let it happen again.
Philo, come quickly.
What is it, Cora?
Tell them, child.
The girl, Elise, she escaped.
What? She must be found!
I'll get the others to search the rooms.
Get Peter and bring him to the main doors. If she was looking for him, let's make sure she finds him.
Lila, wait!
I'm sorry she got away. I didn't know.
No, I know, dear. Nobody blames you. How have you been feeling?
It doesn't hurt. Not much. When it does, I use the Galorn root that you gave me.
You know I would do anything to protect you, don't you?
I know.
Lila, wait.
But I must fetch Peter.
Peter is not in his room. I sent him to the village.
You did what? But why? They'll kill him, won't they? Why didn't you tell Philo?
Because I sent him to retrieve the materials needed to construct your cure.
How could you?
I couldn't just stand by.
Under no circumstance do we ever contact the village. You always told me how important that was. First rule above all else.
There was nothing else I could do.
I am not a child, and I am not too delicate to handle the reality around me. I accepted my fate a long time ago.
That doesn't mean I have.
You still shouldn't have sent him.
Perhaps not. Truth be told, if Peter had not come, I would probably have gone myself. Consequences be damned. I love you. No matter what else I have done, I will never apologize for that.
Oh, God. Which way do I go? I can't remember which way I go. Maybe this door? Oh.
There's no sign of the girl on the grounds. I know. She has seen too much. This is all your fault. You should have just let him get eaten. I wonder what thoughts he's been putting in his head. I know, Dr. Mason. It's too good an opportunity. He wants that blood too badly. But he would. He tries to do too much. He has made me watch them, you know. The people of the village. At night, I have stood on the ridge and watched them laugh and dance with their perfect bodies, and I hate them for it. I cannot tell you how many times I've thought about just ending it. I just want to feel smooth, pink, undamaged flesh over my bones once more. No. We dare not. If she has escaped, then they will be looking for us. They will see us coming, even from above. It is risky. Oh, very well. Let us speak with the others. If they agree, we will approach the village after nightfall.
It's all academic now. The girl is gone.
We've searched everywhere. She must have made it back to the village.
I've told the others to stay in their rooms until after the emergency is over.
I think we are overreacting a little.
If that girl starts spreading tales that we captured her against her will, what do you think is going to happen? They're primitives. The first mention of monsters and they'll be up here with torches burning us and our home along with it.
And what do you think we should do about it?
Sibrin suggested we scout the village from the ridge. We wait until night and get as close as we dare on the ridge and observe their reaction to the girl's story.
Espionage? That will certainly help diffuse the situation.
Well, if they're too agitated, we may need to go on the offensive.
I know you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting.
I don't like it, but a preemptive strike might be our only option. Use their fear against them and make sure that they are not confident enough to attack.
You don't really think they'd attack us, do you?
Fear can be a powerful motivator.
I'm not suggesting we do attack. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that.
I refuse to even discuss such a thing. You make them sound like a bunch of frightened children. You really think one traumatic event is going to make an entire community turn hostile?
I am not going to apologize for wanting to keep my head attached to my neck.
Why not? It's not like you use it.
Watch it cook.
Why? You gonna make an example of me and all?
Try having someone stick a pitchfork in your back, then tell me how much you believe in the rationality of people.
Well, I won't believe it. People are smarter than that, and I refuse to believe they'd attack us unprovoked.
Unprovoked is a relative term. One spark is enough to light a blaze. And remember, we've already taken one of theirs. We have to be on our guard.
But she came to us, and she was returned unharmed.
If your boy wandered too near the village and was taken, would you forgive so easily?
I'm not letting him get near me, Albie. No way they're gonna hurt me, boy.
I think we're all getting ahead of ourselves here. Has it occurred to anyone that not doing anything may just be our best option here? We've lived for 100 years with no interaction. No reason to assume that one light breeze has to preface a storm.
This coming from you.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, nothing is the one thing you don't know how to do.
I've tried.
I've tried, I've done, I've toyed with, I've created, I've meddled. It's who you are, Dr. Mason. Your heart is always in the right place, but it never quite works out, does it? Because you don't know how to leave well enough alone.
That's not fair.
Not fair.
Nearly 130. You wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for me.
You call this alive? Look at us, Dr. Mason. Look at me. You didn't want to grow old, so you played with nature. You weren't satisfied with merely stopping the contagion, so you altered our genes. You couldn't bear to let Lila go, so you sent her and Peter to collect the blood you needed, putting us at risk all over again.
What are you talking about?
Don't play the fool, Dr. Mason. We checked all the rooms looking for the girl. We know Lila and Peter are gone. Were you going to share that, or were we supposed to wait until nothing just strolled up the path with an angry mob behind it?
Lila is not in her room? You're sure?
I checked. She's not here. Nobody's seen her.
I had no idea Lila had gone after Peter. I never would have put her in danger.
That's true. You wouldn't.
But you admit you sent Peter to get the supplies we forbade you to retrieve in order to save Lila?
Of course I did. She's my daughter.
I say we go with Sibrin's plan. We wait and we watch. It'll be night in about an hour. Sibrin and Larkin can head up to the ridge with Dr. Mason's telescope. See what there is to see.
You shouldn't have said those things to him.
They were all true, weren't they?
That's why you shouldn't have said them. She's his daughter. He had a way to save her, and we told him no. Are you telling me you wouldn't have done the same?
Hello? Hello? Anyone? Bastard fifths must be out snatching. Wait. Is that... Elisa's shawl covered in... blood?
What the hell?
God, no!
Hey! What are you doing in here? Oh, Villalobos!
You foul beast! What have you done with Elise?
Just wait a moment.
You savage monsters will pay for what you've done. You're awake. Good. You understand all this stuff. Never would have guessed to look at you. I was expecting spells, dark magics. Tell the truth, probably weren't expecting all that. Never truly believed the stories myself. Figured there was some old fairy tales me Paul would tell me. Keep me out of trouble. Make sure I eat my meals. Remember to scrub. Don't forget to wash up. Remember the beasts love the smell of the unclean children. So I told them stories to my Elise. Stories of big old beasts which live up in the big old spooky castle. Keep her close to home in life. Never could keep that girl out of mischief. No matter what I told her, she got too much of a mother, you know. She never believed in nothing she couldn't put her hands on. Having a daughter wasn't real to her till the first time she held her. Thing is, when I heard she went looking for that girl's fella, thought maybe a wolf or something might get her. Told myself, no, she's a smart girl. Wouldn't stray from the path. Wouldn't go near that castle. Father's supposed to look out for his girl. If he can't keep her safe, what good is he? Dang like you couldn't understand that, could you? You do
things for them you never believed you were capable of. I want to know what you did to my little girl. Did you eat her? Is she in pieces somewhere, or her bones lying somewhere? I have to know. Please. You tell me she didn't suffer, and I swear I'll slit your throat. Painless. If not, you're gonna feel every second of hurt I could give you. You understand? Yes. One word. It's all you need to manage. You understand? Did she suffer? Did she suffer? No. Did she suffer? No. I wish I could believe you. You shit.
Hey, Lycan, do you... What have you done?
Die! Die, you foul beast! Die!
Coward! Lycan! Help! Help!
Listen. Philo! What in the name of heaven and earth happened here?
Lycan! Is he... dead?
He's in poor shape. Unconscious, but not dead. What about you?
I'm fine.
You're not fine. You're bleeding out.
I'll be all right.
Sibrin?
Just take care of Lycan.
Sibrin, get in here!
Can't let him die, Cora.
Go and get Dr. Mason.
I knew this was coming. We can't let it happen. We mustn't. Not again.
Looks like Dr. Mason will have to talk to him now. No getting round it.
They won't listen. He tried, and they still drove us away from the village.
You were sick. They were afraid. You can't hold that against them the rest of your life.
Every day of the last 100 years, I've been afraid. The monsters, they finally come for us.
Dr. Mason will have you both patched up in no time. You just save your breath.
One of theirs is dead. He was going to kill Lycan. I had to kill him. They'll never stop
In
now.
the name of all holy hell!
Please help him.
His lung has been punctured. Give me the container with the blue powder and the vial of cryox crystals. How did this happen?
Sorry, Dr. Mason. I had to kill him.
You had to kill him? You just couldn't resist a fight, could you?
I think my fighting days are finally over.
Yes, now that the damage has already been done.
Leave it be, Dr. Mason.
Why? He wanted to attack someone. He got his wish.
Tired of living in fear.
How have I put up with your puerile attitudes all these years? It's beyond me. You may be my oldest and dearest friend, Philo, but sometimes I think you just look for a way to take the simplest of things and complicate them.
Do you think he was sent as a scout?
We could ask him if he were breathing.
You'll have to talk to the villagers. Make them understand that all we want is to be left in peace.
And if they do not believe us, our dear friend there may damage our credibility.
Apologize and tell
them what? Words do nothing. Apologies do nothing. No matter what I do, I'm risking lives I have no right to risk. I do nothing, my friends may die. I confront them, my friends may die. There is no golden solution. Lycan is dying in my hands because of a stupid mistake I made over a century ago. And no matter how much I try, no matter how far I run, I can't fix it. And I can't escape it.
You don't need to keep punishing yourself, Dr. Mason.
Don't I?
No, you don't. You and Philo are the only two people still living who even remember what happened. Nobody else, neither here nor in Baverly Grove, was even born when all of this happened. You don't want them to hold your past mistakes against you? You can't hold the mistakes of their fathers against them.
I've stabilized him. We'll need to keep him immobilized for a few days, but he should pull through. Sibrin, you and some of the others get him to his bed carefully, all right? We keep perpetuating the cycle of fear. Philo, we are no better than they are. Maybe we have lived too long.
Dr. Mason.
We've seen so many of our friends come and go over the years.
Dr. Mason, look.
Oh, you idiot, you fool. So many of our friends go. Goodbye, old friend. Why didn't he say something?
I think he knew you couldn't save them both.
I could have tried.
Maybe he was just tired of fighting.
Such a waste. Another life lost.
It was his choice. What's yours, Doctor? Lycan is still out, but seems to be resting comfortably.
He'll be unconscious for a time yet. I think it best he sleep through the worst of the pain.
He'll be up and about in time for Albie's birthday?
He should be. How is Albie?
He's being looked after just fine. A little worried, though. A couple of the others are pretty upset about Philo.
Are you surprised?
They're talking about attacking the village. What are you doing there?
Thinking.
Still haven't finished that thing?
Not quite. I wanted it to be perfect. That's my problem in a nutshell, isn't it? I always want everything to be perfect.
Nothing wrong with that.
I could have been done with this thing days ago, but it just had to be perfect. Right.
So what now?
Now I take responsibility for my actions. I'm going to go and speak with them, explain the entire situation as best I can, then give myself over to their mercies if that's what it takes to get Lila back.
Are you all right, Doctor?
Perfectly.
Because I know how close you and Philo were. If you need time to grieve...
Time is a lady with whom I have taken too many liberties already.
Nobody's expecting you to sacrifice yourself. You know that, don't you?
Excuse me. I'm not sure I shouldn't be doing this, but Peter sent me with this.
The blood vial. He actually did it. And you are?
My name is Sarah.
You are Peter's fiancée.
Yes.
Why did he send you? Where is he? Is my daughter with him? Are they all right?
Peter's been arrested. They believe he's being controlled by, by you people. He said you saved his life.
Perhaps there is hope after all. Let me have the blood, my child.
He said you needed it for a cure?
That is correct. I don't have time to mix the drug. Here, Cora. I'm going to write down the instructions. Give both of these to Sibrin. He will understand what to do. I'm going to the village. A treatment is no good without a subject.
But how are you going to find her?
She went to find Peter. I find Peter, I find her.
Good luck.
I don't know how you can just sit there like that.
Nothing to be done except wait. Either Dr. Mason will come back with yours and ours, or he won't. Walking round isn't going to change that one morsel.
I'm sorry, I pace when I'm nervous.
And I get nervous when people pace.
We should have heard something by now.
It's barely been an hour. Dr. Mason will only have been at the village a short while yet.
You shouldn't have had to go at all.
Pardon?
I wish you would stop looking at me.
Sorry, where I'm from, we look at people when we speak to them.
That's not what you're doing. I know that look. My mother was a botanist. She'd have the same look when she was studying her plants.
You're the first normal person I've seen in my life. Besides Dr. Mason, that is. Are you considered beautiful?
Are you? Sorry, I don't know why I said that.
It's all right. You're worried.
No, I was worried when our plane crashed. I was worried when Peter told me our compass was broken. I was worried when we saw wolves. Since I lost Peter, I've been terrified.
You and Dr. Mason should have a lot in common.
How dare you?
You find that an insult?
How else am I supposed to take it? You compare me to a monster like that?
You judge him without even knowing him.
Between what you've told me and how frightened the Baverly Grove people are of this place, can you blame me? I was supposed to be getting married the day after tomorrow, and now...
Hardly to blame for that.
Now my would-be husband is in prison, and it's all because of this place.
If it wasn't for this place, your would-be husband would be dead.
I'm sorry for what he did to you, I really am. But this shouldn't be our problem.
So that is how it is where you come from. You want to blame us? Judge us for not integrating with their society. At least here we're not freaks. We've been over this. Attacking the village is senseless violence. Where are they? I'll speak to them. Stay here. We wouldn't want anything to happen to that pretty face of yours.
Oh, it's you. Still here, are we? What are you doing?
She lied to me. She said this was all the result of a plague, but I saw it. I saw that thing. That didn't come from any plague.
Heath, I tried. You're right. Destroy. What you people do what you don't understand, isn't it? Oh, child. Forgive me. My daughter is dead. They executed her. And I'm afraid that Pete... I'm so terribly sorry for getting you both involved in this.
No. It can't be.
Dr. Mason! Oh, we weren't sure we'd see you again. Cyprian finished mixing the drug, but we have problems. Give him the syringe. Where are Peter and Lila? Are they going to release them?
They executed them, Cora. They're gone.
Are you sure?
I saw them. The townsfolk thought they were scouting an attack. So they slit their throats. I saw their bodies. They died in front of my eyes. It was horrible.
I hate to add kindling to the fire, but Wesley and some of the others are on the warpath. They want to storm the village.
That will accomplish nothing!
Once they hear about Lila, I don't know how we'll be able to stop them.
Why bother? Let them go! The villagers will be here soon enough to do the same to us.
This is your fault. How could you let this happen?
Now that's enough.
Tell me, child, where you come from, are there those who, right or wrong, are so entrenched in their beliefs that they would decimate the liberties of others? The human condition, predictable, eternal, and undeniable. It will be our downfall.
They're coming here?
The straw is broken, and equilibrium is irrevocably changed.
What did you tell them?
Gotta get out of here.
I didn't get a chance to say anything when I arrived. They were in the middle of their ghastly caucus, calling for blood. With everyone looking at their bodies, I wasn't even noticed. They've made up their minds, though. They'll be here within the hour. They will come. They will come, and we will be wiped out.
He's right. Sarah's gone. Should we go after her?
No, let the poor girl go. Her loss is as great as any.
So what do we do? We could gather our things, go hide out in the forest, build new homes somewhere.
And what of Lycan? And Albie? And the others not fit to travel?
What else is there? We can't fight off the whole village, and if we're going to run, then we need to do it now.
I'm tired of running. I've been running all my life. But it's time to let nature take its due.
Look, there's one of them now.
Please, won't you come in? I'd shake your hand, but I'm afraid I'm rather busy. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Richard Mason.
Dr. Richard Mason. Where is Jack? Do you have him?
Was that his name? Jack? Figured it'd be something a little more fierce. He's dead, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Search the castle. Burn anyone you find. Keep an eye outside. Make sure nothing gets away.
Aye.
You're too late. They're all gone. My friends have left, I'm afraid, to take retribution on your backward little society. They should be there by now. If it helps, I tried to stop them, but once your man Jack killed my friend Philo, reasoning with them was next to impossible. Years ago, I made a bad mistake, and your forefathers compounded that mistake to the point of alienating your own people. I can't retract the past. I can't undo my mistakes, but I can provide you with medicine, better food, and a longer, better quality of life. If you'll have it. What do you say?
We won't deal with the devil.
There's no sign of nothing out here.
Come on, he says the rest of them are headed to the village. They must have taken the west trail. We have to get back there first. Come on, move!
Oh. Well, that's that then.
Father?
You bastard! Get away from him!
Father!
He's off. Oh, I'm not like them.
Christian?
I thought you was dead.
A mutual friend got to us first. What did you do to her father?
It weren't me, I swear.
Where is Sarah?
She didn't come here. Did she?
She left before the mob did. Now where is she?
They kill her. They found her here and they shown no mercy. They killed everyone was here.
You son of a bitch!
No! Peter! Stop it! Peter! There's been enough since this killing. Let him go!
You didn't have to kill them!
I didn't!
Go. Go back to the village and don't you dare say a word to anyone that you saw us. You understand me?
Aye.
I've lost her. I just wanted to help. Come on, Lila. There's nothing here for either of us now. Let's go.
Go where? Everyone I know is gone. My father.
Your father wanted you to live. The syringe. Hey, look at this. You see? He finished the cure. This is what your father cared about more than anything else. This could give you your life back, Lila.
The cost was too high. He didn't have the right to put everyone else in danger.
So don't let it all be for nothing.
Do it then.
Here goes nothing. There. That wasn't so bad, was it?
Now what?
Now you come home with me.
It's very kind of you, Peter. But it's not my home. It's not my will.
You think your father would want you here? Alone? Please, I don't have anyone anymore either. Let me take care of you.
I can't. You saw how the people in the village reacted. I'd be putting you in danger.
It's not like that where I'm from. I promise.
I can't. I'll still be different. I just can't.
Remember when I told you about my sister? The one that died in a motorcycle accident? Well, she died because of the accident. But she didn't die right away. She had dozens of surgeries, and her arm amputated below the elbow. She had burns and scars all down her right side. She told me she felt like a monster and wouldn't leave the house for months. And then she got an infection. Found out she needed a kidney transplant, but because of all of her injuries, it was too high risk. So I put her into the car, and for the 3 days before her surgery, I took her to as many of her favorite places as we could think of. And yeah, people watched, people stared, but she still had more fun than I'd ever seen her have before in her life. And you can't let that fear dictate your life, Lila. They looked because she was different. And people will look at you. But curiosity isn't always a bad thing. You only spoke to me because you were curious, right?
I suppose. She didn't die?
She died of a host versus graft a few days later. But she made the most of the time she had left. That's what your father would have wanted for you.
If I had a brother, I'd want one like you. Take me home, Peter. to your hope.
Is it alright to come out? I really hate this little room. Where's Dr. Mason? He said he was gonna be here. Sabrin, is everything alright? What's that, Sabrin?
The will to save and the will to survive are two shades of the same shadow. Yet calibrated through the hero's heart is the will to save another and neglect the survival of self. Thus is the shift of balance between a life molded from malevolence. Thus concludes tonight's strange fantasy. Tune in next time for another look into the strange and obscure.
Strange Fantasy Show presented The Beasts of Baverly Grove, The Castle. Written by Michael Song. Produced by Ashley Scarbro and Travis Scarbro. Original score by Travis Scarbro. The players of tonight's tale are as follows. Heath Allyn as Dr. Mason. Ben Lopez as Peter. Ashley Scarbro as Lila and Albie. Michael Song as Philo, Jack, and Christian. Travis Scarbro as Lycan and Sibrin. Morgan Clyde as Cora. Akasha Villalobos as Sarah. Carmina Manley as Elise. And Shane Hill as Phineas.
Strange Fantasy Show is created by Travis Scarbro, and Strange Fantasy Show is copyright 2021 Strange Fantasy Productions, all rights reserved. Any and all characters appearing in this work are fictitious, and any resemblance to real persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Strange Fantasy. I'm Travis.
Ashley here.
We're the creators, writers, and producers of the show. And we just wanted to take a quick second to let you know that if you like Strange Fantasy, be sure and show your love by subscribing, downloading, and rating the show on iTunes, Spotify, or any of the many platforms we exist on.
And for exclusive rewards and merchandise, or just to donate to our cause to help us to continue to thrive, be sure to visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/Strange Fantasy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Strange Fantasy Show for updates and haunting original art. All this and more can be found at our website, strangefantasyshow.com. From Strange Fantasy Productions, we do have a brand new project out called The Dastardly Dangerous Adventures of Darby's the Cat. It is available anywhere where you get your podcast.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.